Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about mystic arts in each of the skill trees. And I'm actually going to be splitting this into two different videos because there's a lot of information to cover. And I still have a little bit of testing to do on the other three. But today I'm going to be going over swords, Kusarigamas, Onmyo magic, and Jutsu. And the mystic arts in each of them. I'm going to give you the stats and my opinions on which I think is better of the two.
Search.
Feeling something like Rick Moranis, blew up the kid, now he doing damage. You ought to know, like my name's Atlanta. Say on me, take a seat, young Christopher Hansen. I don't sweat all day.
So first off, I wanted to let you guys know I didn't include any actual test footage in this video because it was by far one of the most boring things to watch ever. I tried cutting some of it up and putting it in there, and oh my god, I couldn't even watch it. So it was absolutely boring, and I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen some of my other videos, and it's basically me in one of two different areas testing, and you guys have probably already seen a lot of that. But anyways, I'm going to get right into it. So there are two mystic arts in each one of the skill trees, and I'm going to be covering swords, Kusarigamas, Onmyo magic, and Jutsu today. So I want to start off with swords. And the first one that you have is called Sword of Salvation, and this reduces ki consumption when you are evading. I really had a hard time testing this. The results were so poor that I really couldn't get much of a readout. I couldn't get really a hard stat on it. It was pretty bad. This is probably the worst one out of all of them that I tested. Its application, like what you use it for, it was just bad all the way around. I wouldn't recommend using this at all. You can get, ki reduction for evasion on plenty of different pieces of your armor, so don't take this. It's bad. The second one is going to be called Sword of Execution, and what this does is it gives you bonus rear damage. And the number that I came to was 49%. So it's right at 50% extra damage when you're attacking from behind. And this is really, really fucking strong. I mean, it is super strong. So if you are using a sword, take this one. It's much better of the two. It's really no comparison. It's absolutely amazing. And it will bump your damage up a lot when you're attacking from the rear. Moving on to Kusarigamas. This one was weird. It was easy enough to test, but the results were kind of strange. You have Waxing Crescent, which increases the damage and reduces ki consumption when you're using a sickle of the Kusarigama, and you have Shooting Star, which increases the damage and reduces ki consumption for the metal weight of the Kusarigama. And I tested the Shooting Star first, and basically the reason why I tested this one first is because most of the attacks with the Kusarigama are going to be with the metal weight. You swing the metal weight more often. Most of the quick attacks are done with the metal weight. Even some of the skills are done with the metal weight. You find more of the sickle in strong attacks and in some of the skills. But most of the damage is coming from the metal weight when you are, square pressing. So it was a 20% damage increase to the metal weight for the Kusarigama for Shooting Star. And this tested pretty well. It did really well. And you have a lot of quick attacks with the metal weight. So, it's a very, very good mystic art. The next one was Waxing Crescent, and this increased the damage from the sickle by 8%. It was pretty bad. It was not very good at all. And as I said, there's much less attacks for the Kusarigama that actually use the sickle. I would have figured that it would have gotten an increase above the metal weight, but it was at 8%. Whenever I tested it with strong attacks, with skills, it was 8% across the board. And so I will tell you that if you use a Kusarigama, I would stick with Shooting Star because it is the better of the two. Now I'm going to be talking about Onmyo magic, and these are both fantastic mystic arts. They're both great. So the first one is amplification, and what this does is it extends the duration of your skills, skill buffs, and your item buffs. And I totaled this up to be right at 50% for both items and skills. So, like, I tested the Carnage Talisman, and normally its normal duration was right at 21 seconds for me, without taking a whole lot of magic points. But it was at 21 seconds, and after using amplification, it went up to 31.5 seconds. So it is pretty strong. The only bad thing is the cast times are ridiculously long. They are 1.15 seconds. So every time you cast something, you have to wait 1.15 seconds before you can do anything else. And if you're around a bunch of enemies and you're trying to get all of your buffs down, you're going to get smacked directly in the face, and you're probably going to die. So that leads me to the second one, and this one's called Awakening, and what it does is it casts it instantly. And this is kind of a lie, because it casts the first spell instantly, and then the following spells, they are cast on a cooldown. And this cooldown, it's pretty short. It's right around 2.5 or 0.25 to 0.3 seconds. But you do have a cooldown in between, so you do have to wait a bit, but you can move around and, dodge things, get out of the way, attack while this is going on, so it doesn't really hurt too bad, but you do not get the increased duration. So for both of these, they have their uses. So if you are wanting to, do speed runs, and you're wanting to get through missions quickly, Amrita farming, whatever you're wanting to do, I would definitely use the Awakening Mystic Art, because it's going to be the better of the two. If you have enough time to cast buffs before a battle, go ahead and use Amplification, because you are going to get much longer duration. Especially if it's if you're just pushing through the game, you're working on New Game Plus, and the fights are going to be lasting longer. This is probably going to be your best bet. But, use whichever one you think is better. I think they're both pretty equal, but in my opinion, I will use Awakening more often than I use Amplification. So for the last one, I want to talk about the Ninja Mystic Arts, and this is going to be Concealment and Enlightenment. And Enlightenment is basically the same thing as Awakening for the Onmyo magic, where you cast your jutsu on yourself instantly. Same rules apply as with Onmyo, but the thing is, I don't really use too many of these, and when I do, it's like tiger running scrolls or power pills, and I'm not using a whole lot at once. So, like, for this, I say skip Enlightenment to go for Concealment. And what this one does is it gives you a 50% increase to your long range attacks and your jutsu attacks. And this is really, really good. It is fantastic. A 50% increase to bows, matchlocks, hand cannons. You can really just walk around the map and, shoot every enemy you don't want to fight directly in the face and almost end it. So, this is a very, very strong mystic art. I will definitely say that I think that it is better than Enlightenment. So for Jutsu, I would definitely pick Concealment. Well, that's going to do it for the video today. If you liked it, hit that like button. Tell me which one of these mystic arts you like best down in the comments below. And I will see you on the next one.